Right, the ACCA qualification is changing in 2027. And there's no shortage of videos out there listing what exactly is changing. So what I want to do differently today is to give you my honest take on it. Not just the fact, but what I'd actually tell my own students to do about it, based on where you are right now. So let's get the structure first, and then I'll come back and actually advise you what to do next.
Hello and welcome to this explainer. Right, if you're currently working towards your qualification, you know getting your head around the upcoming ACCA 2027 structure is absolutely essential. So let's walk through exactly what to expect from these changes. That way you can plan your studies with complete confidence. The biggest shift here is a much more streamlined syllabus. We're actually seeing the total number of exams drop from 13 down to 11. Going forward, your journey is going to be structured across 3 main levels: knowledge, expertise, which, by the way, replaces the old applied skills level, and strategic professional. Oh, and don't worry, the optional foundations entry route, that's still fully in place for anyone who needs it. Now, regarding the specific subjects, the foundational elements of financial and management accounting transition really neatly into K1 and K2. You'll also find that corporate and business law has been restructured as K3. Then, as you move up into that newly named expertise level, core technical subjects like taxation and financial reporting transition quite seamlessly into E1 and E2. The expertise level continues with audit, risk, and control acting as E3, right alongside finance and investment as E4. Notably, performance management evolves into E5, specifically to explicitly include data analysis, a very modern update. Up at the mandatory strategic professional tier, SBR modernizes into business and sustainability reporting, while strategic business leader stays put as your S2 paper. And yes, you'll still wrap things up by picking one option paper from a list of 5. There are a couple of specific structural changes really worth highlighting here. First off, the business and technology module is being retired completely. Its content has actually been modernized and just absorbed across the other new modules, meaning there's no direct equivalent for it. Secondly, corporate and business law moves a bit earlier in your journey. It shifts down from applied skills to sit as K3, right at the knowledge level. Now, beyond the exams themselves, the current single ethics module is actually being replaced. It's making way for 3 essential employability modules, which are integrated at each stage. We've got responsible business management, digital tech and innovation, and finally, ethical sustainable leadership. But here is the crucial bit. You absolutely must pass the respective employability module before you're allowed to progress to the next level. That is a strict rule to remember. Let me leave you with the absolute most vital point today. Your existing passes carry forward. I promise, nothing you've already achieved is wasted, so you can keep your focus entirely secure on your current studies. The ACCA structure is simply evolving to meet the realities of the modern financial landscape. But the ultimate question really is this: how will you leverage these new employability and sustainability skills to define your own future career?
So that's the shape of the new syllabus. But knowing what's changing is only half of the picture. The other half is timing. And the timing here is unforgiving. Let's talk about the dates.
We're keeping things sharp today, focusing absolutely exclusively on the critical dates you need to have in your diary. Looking at the timeline, right now, it's business as usual. The current syllabus is running completely as normal, with no changes to the papers being sat today. But we are heading straight for a hard cutoff in June 2027, which will be followed immediately by the new rollouts in July and September. June 2027 is hands down the most important date on your calendar. It acts as the absolute final sitting for the current applied skills and strategic professional exams. Literally, once that June session wraps up, every single student has to transition over to the new structure. Straight after that cutoff, July 2027 introduces the first sittings for the new knowledge exams: K1 Financial Accounting, K2 Management Accounting, and K3 Business Law. Crucially, these are all on demand, though the K3 variants do have a specific July completion window. Then, September 2027 brings the session-based exams, the new expertise papers, E1 to E5, right alongside the updated strategic professional exams. Ultimately, June 2027 is the wall. Everything on the current syllabus stops right there. So, with this absolute cutoff approaching fast and the entirely new structure waiting on the other side, how will you strategize your remaining sittings before the deadline?
So, June 2027 is the wall. That part is non-negotiable. The real question is, what do you do with the time you got left before hitting it? And the answer depends entirely on where you are in your studies right now.
Right. If the upcoming ACCA 2027 syllabus changes have you wondering whether you should stick to your current plan or just pause and wait, let's cut straight to the chase. Consider this your definitive guide to navigating the entire transition. Here is the absolute governing principle of this whole thing. Do not wait. Every single paper you've passed automatically carries forward. There are no resits. Nothing gets wasted. So hear me on this. There is absolutely zero advantage in deliberately stalling your exams.
So, let's look at your specific situation. If you're at the early stage in knowledge or early applied skills, your action is simple. Keep going. Prioritize FA and MA as they directly become K1 and K2. Crucially, finish your law exam. It transitions to K3, and it's a mandatory prerequisite before you can even touch the new expertise exams.
Further along in applied skills, your target is to sit as many papers as humanly possible before 2027. There's a massive incentive for you here. Clearing all 6 applied skills exams before the switch completely exempts you from the new digital tech and innovation module. That's going to save you roughly 100 hours of assessed work. Now, at the strategic professional level, the redesign actually works in your favor. From September 2027, you'll only need 1 option paper instead of 2. So focus entirely on your essential papers first. Clear those essentials out of the way before you even think about tackling another option. And for those of you who are near qualified, maybe you're just a paper or 2 away, it's time for a final sprint. Push hard to finish before June 2027. Passes transfer anyway, but qualifying now completely avoids new module costs and the massive uncertainty of a brand new syllabus. Let's bust a major myth right now. The new syllabus is not easier. The ACCA confirms the rigor is exactly the same. Yes, there are 2 fewer exams, but you face roughly 220 hours of assessed modules, replacing a single 20-hour one. Plus, E5 adds data analytics, and S1 expands heavily into sustainability reporting. And strictly beware the first cohort risk. In September 2027, you'll have absolutely 0 pass papers, no live examiner reports, and no pass rate history to rely on. So, the final verdict? Don't panic, and definitely don't stall. Run the official ACCA transition tool to map your specific passes and push hard to clear your current level before June 2027. The clock is ticking. Are you going to let a syllabus change stall your career, or are you going to take control of your qualification today?
Okay, so this is the part that I actually want you to walk away with, because I don't think enough people are talking about it. If you are anywhere close to finishing your current studies or current level, do not sit back just because your passes carry forward. There's one thing buried in this whole transition that matters more than people realize. It's the ethics and professional skills module. Right now, there's roughly 20 hours, 1 flat fee, and you're done. Under the new structure, that gets replaced by an Essential Employability Module, and ACCA's own guidance points to around, I think, 60 hours. So it's 3 times longer, and yes, you have to pay extra for it separately. So here's my honest advice. If you're anywhere near finishing your current level, get your ethics module done before that transition cutoff. Because if you don't, you're not just adjusting to a new syllabus. You are stuck doing 3 times the hours for extra money for something you could clear just in a fraction of time. That, to me, is the single most concrete reason to stop stalling and actually get moving this year. So, to bring it all together, the structure is changing. June 2027 is your hard deadline. And if you take one thing from this video, please let it be that ethics model point. Don't turn it into 3 times the work for extra money. Run the official ACCA transition tool, map out your remaining papers, and make your plan today. If this helped, please subscribe for more ACCA updates and drop any questions that you've got in the comments below. I'll try to answer everything.